Hey everybody, it's Pajama Life with our review of Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Vampire Lestat, and Hacks. Let's go.
Earth, Wind, and Fire were making a whole different sound.
No people were playing no music like that.
Hey, and then you hear...
Wow.
That's when the funk starts.
We didn't know what effect it would have on the people.
They've embraced that music could have a higher purpose.
I wanted to reach a universal audience through the music and change the world, change the world.
I'm saying to myself, if they can do that, what can I do?
You're thinking they're coming from Africa or from outer space.
It wasn't even a show.
It was theater.
Prince, Michael Jackson. They were down there taking notes, man.
You're absorbing these powerful affirmations. They made you feel anything was possible.
They were defining blackness on their own terms.
Hey everybody, it's Pajama Life with David and Patrick. Say hi. Hi.
Hey everybody.
All right. Let's talk about the Earth, Wind, and Fire documentary from Questlove. Yet another wonderful documentary he's come out with. David, what'd you think?
I gotta tell you, this was just a tour de force in feel-good music. I didn't know that much about the band as a, honestly, from a historical perspective, but oh, the music is just so beautiful. It really, there's always turbulence in history, but you look back where the cars were still metal. You got Coca-Cola and glass bottles wherever you could go, and that beautiful, happy music that we heard in the mid-1970s. Wow. And then you hear, and I learned a lot more about them as a group. I didn't understand their social impact, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Just enjoyed the music, but I really liked it. What about you?
Oh, man, I really enjoyed this. I was kind of, okay, so I'll talk about the bad that I didn't like, that it was disappointing to hear, and then I'll talk about the good. I was disappointed to hear about Maurice White's kind of controlling ways and his philandering and the how he didn't pay the band. That's what I was like, no, not that, like shades of James Brown and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, not Maurice. But then you look at his music and it is so amazing. I mean, I was, I'd grown up with it. I mean, I listened to Earth, Wind, and Fire from the earliest days.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't know some of the words, and then when they had them up, I was like, oh my God, this is more inspiring than I even imagined what he was saying then. I mean, just his ability to think about the future and then to craft that future for himself was just incredible. When you think, he said, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to change the world. And that's what he did. And
Yeah.
And he was the first ones to talk about these positive affirmations. And you can do anything, your mind is not the limit. And it was just really beautiful and just a really balanced documentary. So you didn't just hear about the good, you heard about, some of the struggles and troubles.
Great point.
And the things that defined him, his mother leaving him with a friend. I don't even know if it was a family member at a young age. And eventually she came back, but that traumatized him. And you saw echoes of that throughout his life and his music. And so I think that this was Questlove and his doing these different documentaries. He's such a great filmmaker right now. Pat, what'd you think?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That Questlove is found. Yeah, can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Questlove is really hit his second stride. I mean, for as an actual musician himself, and I tell you what, as a documentary filmmaker for things that he is obviously very invested in. This was an amazing documentary. I loved it. I love by bringing in other people that were there, and people that are influenced by it. So super good. I mean, overall, yes, you got to see the good and the bad. It wasn't all a fluff piece, PR, damage control, whatever you want to call it. Really did the good with the bad, and overall the good is amazing. And the thing is that the legacy of Earth and Fire is going to be their music more than any of this other stuff. So can't wait to see it. Can't wait to keep listening to the Earth. Today, but there's always tomorrow. So
yeah.
And I thought what was cool was when Stevie Wonder said that I wish was inspired by one of Earth, Wind, and Fire songs. And I was like, oh, yes. And when you listen to them, it's like, oh, okay, he was inspired. You can hear the genesis of it in the music. And then seeing his legacy of artists, Anderson .Paak and Michael Jackson and Prince, and then the Obamas. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Straight out the gate. Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. So definitely check out the Earth, Wind, and Fire documentary on HBOMax. All right. Up next, it's another rock star with a bite. Let's look at the Vampire Lestat, rebranded from the Interview with the Vampire. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
You've been alive and undead for 265 years. You witnessed the French Revolution, the electric light, the atomic bomb.
I am the Vampire Lestat. It's my era. I'm a rock star now. I'm a little killer. I'm a lonely one. I'm the trigger in upper spine, telling you to run. Oh, I'm the last alive. I'm the best in the future, the last of the soldiers are going down. I am a god.
He didn't like the part about Claudia and him on the train.
Oh man, this Sam Reid, I was shocked at how much I feel like he embodied Lestat and his serpentine kind of ways and when he moves and his really wonderful singing. I was like, oh, this guy actually could be a rock star. He's fantastic. But I was a little confused because I didn't know some of the stuff that happened. And then it was all of a sudden they jumped into, oh, the writer is a vampire now. Oh, Louis is kind of different. Oh, he's with a bit. And then the surprise at the end, I was like, wait a minute. There was a lot I felt like backstory that they didn't cover, or they covered it like really quick. And it was like, wait a minute, that's a huge change from the first two seasons. But I feel like it was really cool that they rebranded this as the Vampire Lestat to go along with the books and to, just reboot the entire series. I thought it was pretty interesting. And I think Sam Reid he doesn't get talked about enough. Why isn't this guy in movies right now? I'm like, this guy is amazing. Pat, what'd you think?
Okay, as someone who's a real big fan of the books, I did not catch the second season Interview with the Vampire. There were some things I was still having a little bit of an issue. Okay, I got other things I got to watch. But yeah, this guy did really have that kind of type of thing. And the quick intro was like, whoa, this wasn't book one, this was book two. Why are we?
Yeah.
Whoa, how this happened? I was like, okay, so.
Okay.
actor has a
Oh,
very
Pat, you're in and out.
Yeah.
Jim Morrison. Sorry, has a
Yeah.
very Jim Morrison look to him, a very Jim Morrison feel, and I felt that way too. That was what Lestat was kind of based upon or a part of. So I was okay with it, and I don't know how I feel because like it feels like they're jumping ahead. They're doing a lot of the mythology. The Lestat was such a great book. It was the one that really fleshed in the interview with the vampire being the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about it, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. I think that's fair. David, what'd you think?
You know, and now I got to tell you, I don't remember anything about season 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh
it's a
my God.
complete.
Season 2 was amazing.
It was a complete blur to me. Seeing this one, I am impressed with the cast. The lead is Lestat. I agree. I think he really embodies this character like we haven't seen before. I mean,
Yep.
Tom Cruise is a big movie star and great stuff he's done, and I think he's actually a very talented actor. But he was miscast when they had the interview with the vampire so many years ago. It was a lifetime ago at this point.
Oh,
I think in
I like
comparison.
it. Yeah,
But
this guy is really, it's like they plucked him out of my brain and put him on the screen. I mean,
yeah, no, he's
like,
amazing in this role. And I kind of like the pop culture Andy Warhol version of where the vampires are now. It's a neat little kind of twist on the whole story. So yeah, it's there's some funny things in it. It's certainly you've got your blood, but there's a lot of really solid acting in this story. So I do encourage people, if you like your Halloween stuff, don't wait till October 31st. Don't wait till September 21st. Remember that, of course. I had to get my Earth, Wind, and Fire little nod in there. But yeah, check this out. If you like vampires, you're going to really enjoy this. And be sure to look over Anne Rice's original text, because I think you'll really appreciate the talent that this author has.
And it's it's very funny this season. So they're kind of leaning in on the humor too. So definitely check out on AMC Plus the Vampire Lestat. All right. Now, finally, we're going to talk about one of the best shows on TV. It's taking its bow, the comedic Hacks. Let's take a look.
God, look at this.
She has risen!
I was never dead.
Hallelujah!
You know, when you're away from the spotlight, you have time to think about what really matters. Bam! The spotlight! God, I am going to be mad! This won't be just a stand-up show. This will be historic. This will be bigger than just me. I'm doing this for all women who've been silenced. Every woman who has ever done something brave or unexpected is either called crazy or, even worse, an evil bitch. If you don't take risks, you're as good as dead.
Learn how to drive, you jabroni!
So great to be back in New York. Yeah.
Rats! Where?
And that's true about the rats. I've had to do that before running from the rats. But oh wow, Hacks. Boy, what a great season. Now I'll talk about what I didn't like and then I'll gush over what I like. The only thing I didn't like was the storyline about Deborah's cancer. I just thought that was just some BS. They didn't even need to add it. Why you always got to give a woman cancer or try to kill her? I was like, that's some BS. I didn't like that at all. I thought it took away from the message of the show. And don't worry, she doesn't die. But you should have watched it by now. It's been out forever. But I just thought that was just a misstep to me, that part of it. Now, everything else was great. I thought her fighting against the band in these little slick ways. I thought Bob Lipka buying out the theater that was like, oh my God, I can't believe that they went there with that. And the love and affection between the two was so great. Between Ava and Deborah. I mean, they had such a really strong friendship that you don't get to see sometimes, especially with women in shows. So it was a really nice nod to the series, and hope it get nominated for a bunch of Emmys. Pat, what'd you think?
I loved all of it. And the cancer thing, I'm just gonna say that was probably a smart move on their part to try to find an organic ending to the series instead of just doing stupid crap like I've seen in so many series that I love, where they just kind of, they lived happily ever after or whatever. I mean, even though they kind of did that, but the thing was, they were planning for this. They were figuring out a way to end the series on what felt like a natural end, rather than just let's just force something into. Oh yeah, she got married to Shooter McGavin, and now they're gonna live happily ever after, or whatever.
I was kind of hoping they would get
Oh
married.
God, who cares?
I would have loved that.
You want to talk about things that would have been antithetical to the entire series, right there. That's it.
Not really.
Absolutely.
Why not marry your friend?
But the thing is, they've had a thing, and the thing is, she was always an independent woman. She didn't need a man. And that was the whole point of a lot of this whole series.
You don't need one, but you might want one.
Well, you can get you can check them out of the library just like a book, Anyway, so I'm just saying, I thought that was a real a smart way to possibly end it, and then they pull that rug right out from underneath you, which was delightful at the same time. It was great to see them to have a road trip, a girls trip together. The whole series overall has been delightful. If you watch in like the last episode, the recap from it, where they start like on season 1 and show how Ava and her got, became friends, even against all odds, total opposites. And it felt very, very like a child and her mother, rather than Caitlin Olsen, or whatever her name is. I can't remember. The one that was her really supposed to be her daughter, did the Amazing Race with her. That was a weird thing, but Ava was her, like, the child she chose rather than the child she birthed. And I felt that, and I was like, wow, this is a really good, if you haven't watched this.
But that was kind of cold that she didn't even tell her daughter that what she was going through, and have her daughter there with her. I was kind of that's what I was like.
I disagree. I disagree again. Her daughter would have been made it all about herself, whereas Ava made it all about Deborah, and that was the right thing to do. And that was the daughter that she needed to have, rather than the daughter she birthed. And I think that was a smart move. And sometimes your own kids ain't that great, or they ain't. They're not the person you want to tell this story to or that story to, because they're your kids, and they and them so well because you raised them, and how they're going to react. And she's like, I couldn't do that, because you saw that through that whole Amazing Race episode or two about how she would have been, and that was not what she needed. She needed someone to support her, to be with her, not to make it all about themselves, which is what her daughter would have done, because her daughter was her daughter. I mean, because Deborah made it all about herself through so much of the series. But what a great series. And you know what? Everybody in that deserves absolute kudos. What a delightful series. If you have not watched this, those of you that are watching this, you should be watching this. You should sit down, binge the whole damn thing, start to end. If you haven't even seen any of it, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, David, what you thinking?
I hear your point about the cancer. I loved it. I thought it was a perfect way to end the show. They pitched this idea, and they said, we got 5 seasons, and we're even going to tell you how it ends. I mean, this is one of the most well thought out, well designed programs I have seen. And Jean Smart, man, she is a talent. I absolutely loved this. The relationship between the two the friendship, but I think even more than that, there's been such great power dynamics and manipulation at times, but this is truly her daughter. You know, this is the kindred spirit. This is who she's really connected with. And I just thought it was just for lack of a better word, perfect. This was a great way to conclude a wonderfully smart, and I mean the pun intentionally there. Gene has been great. It's a great group. Love this show. I'm going to start back and rewatch all 5 seasons. And also, I hope they win more awards, and I hope they keep having the same closing line in all of their acceptance speeches as we go forward.
Well, I think we all agree that you should watch Hacks on HBOMax. It's well worth the time to see smart, funny comedy.
Yeah.
All right. So next week, we will cover one of the best horror movies I've seen in a while. They Will Kill You. It's also Steven Spielberg is out with a new sci-fi flick, which he hasn't done in probably 20 years or more. Disclosure Day. And another sci-fi gem is in the 2nd season, Sugar, on Apple TV Plus. So we definitely want to check those out. All right. David, say goodnight to the people.
So long, everybody. Hope you have a great one this week. Enjoy something fun. Read a book. Get outside if it's good weather. And be safe. We'll see you next week.
Pat, say goodnight to the people.
Everybody stay safe this week. Watch out for storms in your area. We're under a tornado watch currently in Lawrence, Kansas. So everybody just keep your head down and be safe.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.